Welcome back, little cubs.
Hey guys,
How
welcome
are
to
you
math.
guys? Today we're going to do a math lesson on place value and addition and subtraction. It is 3.2A and 3.4A. Here is the objective. I can compose and decompose numbers up to 100,000 as a sum of so many 10,000s, so many thousands, so many hundreds, so many tens, and so many ones using objects, pictorial models, and numbers, including expanded notation as appropriate. I can solve with fluency one-step and two-step problems involving addition and subtraction within 1,000 using strategies based on place value, properties of operations, and the relationship between addition and subtraction. What is place value? Place value is the value of a digit as determined by its location in a number such as ones, tens, hundreds, 1,000s, 10,000s, etc. What is a digit? A digit is any numerical form 0 through 9. Equation. An equation is a mathematical statement composed of equivalent expressions separated by an equal sign. Here are some key words that you guys have to know. For addition, another word for addition would be the word and, perimeter, total, combined, although, in all, and both.
Together.
All together.
Together. There's another word, yes. And here's subtraction keywords. Difference, how many more, less than, pure, leftover. And here's a thought question that you have to think about while you're going through the slides. Why is place value important when adding and subtracting? It is very important to know that.
Okay, so here's our first question. And these questions are from the quick checks that are going to be in Pearson, okay? It says, what is the value of the 1 in the number 517,264? Okay, so it's asking for the value. So if I'm looking at this, the first thing you should do is always make a place value chart. Okay, that's what you always do. So here's my place value chart, and I see that there is the number down there. It says 517,264. Okay, now we know our digit is 1, but it's wanting to know what the value is. So when I put this inside my place value chart, my place value chart is showing me that the digit 1 is in the 10,000th place. Okay, so the answer is 10,000.
Okay. Which of the following names the value of the 5s in the number 5,055? Okay. So again, we're looking, if you notice what it said, what is the names of the values of the 5s, which is plural, so that means we're going to look at all the 5s. Okay. Again, like Ms. Garza said, we always, even in class, we always built our place value chart. Or in my class, I showed you my place value chart, and I would put it on there, so we knew where the digits were. Okay, so if we look at all the digits that are 5s, we see that we have 1 in the thousands place, we have 1 in the tens place, and we have 1 in the ones place. So we're looking at 5,000 in the thousands place, we're looking at 50 in the tens place, and we're looking at 5 in the ones place. Okay, those are the values.
Okay, so the next one says, write an equation that models the problem. It says, Nate has 10 river stones. Chin has 26 river stones. How many more river stones does Chin have than Nate? Okay, so the first thing we always do is we look at the numbers and what they represent. So this number is 10, and it represents 10 river stones. Okay, and then it says Chin has 26 river stones. And the next thing we do is we look for keywords that are going to help us out and figure out what operation we're going to be using. So our keyword here is how many more. And how many more means you subtract. So in my equation, I'm going to have my subtraction symbol. And then it also says equation. So when it says equation, that means it does not care what the answer is. All you need is the setup of the problem. Okay? So, anytime you subtract, your big number goes first. And our big number here is 26. Okay? So 26 is the number that's going to go first. Now, when we do this, I'm going to write it sideways because it's asking for an equation. But if you were going to solve the problem, then we would obviously have you write it vertically. Okay? But right now we're going to do it horizontally because it's an equation. So it's 26 minus 10 equals, and again, we don't care because it's just asking for an equation. So it says 26 minus 10 equals blank, or equals question mark. Okay, so that's the answer to that question.
Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. Okay, it says Lauren is making a scrapbook. She has 32 photos of friends and 46 photos of family. How many photos does she have altogether? Okay, so we do the same thing in our annotating. We look to see what we're finding. So we're looking at 32 photos, okay, of friends, and we've got 46 photos of family, okay? And all you really need to do is just highlight 46 and 32 photos, okay? So we're looking at photos total, okay? Now, we need to find out if we're going to add or subtract. And how do we do that again? Okay, we look at the keywords. How many photos, okay, does she have altogether? Okay, so how many in all together? Okay, all together is going to tell us that we are going to add. Okay, so we're going to add. Okay, so we're going to put our plus sign up at the top. Okay, and then we're going to make our equation. Okay, so we're going to start always, like we've said, you know, when we add, we've always said it really doesn't matter how you're adding, but always get into the habit of putting the bigger number on top, whether we're adding or subtracting, always get in that habit. So we're going to put 46, and then we're going to add 32, okay, and then we're going to do our math. 6 plus 2 is 8. Good. And 4 plus 3 is 7. So we've got 78 all together total. Okay. So that's our big keyword, is all together.
And the thought question: why is place value important when adding and subtracting?
Okay, one of the biggest reasons why place value is important when adding and subtracting is because there's going to be a point in time where you're going to have to regroup and you're going to have to put it in a different place value. Okay, Mr. Garcia's question here, we got super lucky because we didn't have to put anything in the next place value. Okay,
we didn't have to carry.
You have to know the value of each place value. You have to know this is 78 photos. Okay, not 7 photos and 8 photos, it's 78 total photos. So that's one of the reasons why it's important. With subtraction, it's also important because you are taking a 10 and you're putting it in the next place value. So I can give you a really quick example of that. Let's see. We can do 32 minus 16. Okay. So 2 minus 6, you can't do that. So what do?
You have to
Regroup.
Group. So that makes this 3 in the tens place a what?
2.
2.
2.
We're gonna borrow 1.
Okay, and that makes this 2 in the ones place a
12.
12.
Okay. Now we got this 1 in this ones place from our tens place. Okay. You just regrouped it and put that 10 right there. That's how we got 12. So then 12 minus 6 equals what?
6.
6. And then 2 minus 1 is
1.
1. So that's a really quick rundown on why that is important.
Yay.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. Well, we'll see you next week. Or I guess Thursday.
We're getting close. We're getting close.
We really miss you guys. We only
We
have, what, 4 weeks left?
Yes, ma'am.
Do your work. Do your work. Turn it in.
Do your work. Turn it in. Yeah. Don't forget to turn it in on Mondays between noon and 5.
And Zoom
Bye,
if
guys.
you can. Zoom
Guys,
if you can.
Zooms on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Love
That's
ya.
in.
Peace.